In this video, I'll break down the 3 tools and investments that we've built in our lives to give me and my family financial freedom. Everyone wants financial freedom, but not a lot of people get it. And I think it really starts with this problem that financial freedom is quite vague. It's like a pipe dream, if you've ever heard of the term. A pipe dream is essentially something that you aspire towards. You dream and you want that kind of thing or that kind of life. But then you think to yourself, that's never going to happen to me. For the longest time, financial freedom was like that. For me, personally. Because I always thought to myself that I'm not really going to become rich. I always thought it was a pipe dream. That yes, I want it. I know that it can give me a better life. I know it can give my kids better education. It can give my wife all the shopping money that she wants.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
But it's just not going to happen until I discovered this concept of financial independence. What's the difference between financial freedom and financial independence? How can you use these 2 principles to give you and your family a better financial life? I think of financial freedom as the end goal, the destination. Let's say, for example, you're going on a road trip and you want to head over to the beach. The beach is your financial freedom. It's where you want to go. But the question is, how are you going to get there? If you ride a bicycle with a family of 6, you're probably going to get there exhausted. It's not the most efficient way to travel 500 kilometers. You might even get into an accident. So you need the right vehicle. So what do? You take a car. You want to get there in the most efficient way possible. And that's what financial independence is. Financial independence is this concept where work becomes optional for you, where you earn money even if you're not trading time and effort. And that's a concept that's quite foreign for us, especially for Filipinos, because all our lives we've been taught that the only way for you to earn income is to trade time for money. You get employed and then you get a salary, or you start a business and you give 60 to 70 hours every single week into that business just so that you can earn income. Yes, your income goes up, but you're still trading time for money. There's this quote that I heard from Naval Ravikant, the angel investor, and it was super life-changing for me. This is what he said: you're not going to get rich renting out your time. The concept really of financial independence, it really goes around that concept of ownership. Owning assets, property, investments, and I'll share a little bit our investment strategies that can help you to generate revenue even when you're not working. And so you get to this point called work optional, where you work not because you have to, but now you work because you want to. And this year, that's basically what kind of like happened to me, where now a lot of the things that I do, not all, but like probably like 80 to 90% of the work that I do it because I want to do it, not because of money anymore. Before I share the 3 investments that we've made to build financial independence, I want to first start off with the foundations, which is the 4 C's that can help you understand financial independence a little bit more. So number 1 is this concept of clarity, knowing your financial independence number. How much money do you need to live a comfortable lifestyle? Going back to this idea of the pipe dream, financial freedom becoming this vague thing. The reason why it's vague is because we never sit down and ask ourselves the question, how much money do we need as a family, or do I need as an individual to say that I'm going to be financially comfortable? And if we don't have that number to begin with, then financial independence will be close to impossible for you. The second C is creation, wealth creation to be specific. And you want to be able to create assets. You want to create a business, you want to create a portfolio that generates income for you. Yes, we start our wealth creation journey with employment. We get a salary, we get an income. But your goal should be to take that salary and income and put it into assets that can generate income for you with very little to no effort on your part. The third C, the principle that I want to share with you, is a cushion, something that you can land on and it's not going to hurt, right? And so there are 2 cushions that you need to put in place. Number 1 is an emergency fund. And the emergency fund that you want to shoot for is anywhere between 6 to 12 months of your monthly expenses. I know some people will say 3 to 6 months, but after the pandemic, we just don't know for a fact. And we want to just make sure that you have the right cushion in place. The second cushion that you want to create is insurance. Number one is non-life insurance for your car, your properties. And then you also need life insurance as well. That's going to protect you and your family in case anything happens to you. Critical illness, where in case you get a critical illness, cancer, stroke, heart attack, or any other critical illness that's covered by your CI insurance, that's going to cover your expenses. And then the last one is an HMO or a health insurance. You can't build financial independence without the right cushion. And then lastly, a very powerful principle, which is compounding. If you build your wealth over a long period of time and let it compound, your wealth is going to grow exponentially. We like shortcuts. That's why a lot of people fall for get-rich-quick scams, because we just want money right away. But if you look at people who have built wealth over time, they have built it over long periods. They do it in a very slow but very steady way. So with all of that, let me share with you the 3 investments that we've made that have helped me and my family experience financial freedom and financial independence. The first one is property. We bought our first house back in 2016, and that was a house that we lived in. So it wasn't an asset, it wasn't an investment, it was a liability. A few years after that, we made a decision to move to a different city. When we moved to a different city, we didn't sell our house. We kept that house because we thought that we were going to go back. And if you think about it, this investment was very accidental. So we didn't sell that house, and instead we rented out that house, and then we rented in the city that we lived in. So we lived in Iloilo City, we moved to Bacolod City. So we were renting in Bacolod. And then after a few years of living in Bacolod, we decided we're going to plant roots here, and we decided to buy another house. And so when we bought that house, the house that we used to live in Iloilo, became a permanent rental. A few years later on, we bought a third property, which was a condominium unit. And that condo unit, back in Iloilo City, that's where we live when we visit family. And when we're not there, we rent it out through short-term rentals. Airbnb, Booking.com. Those 2 properties in Iloilo continue to generate anywhere between 50 to 70,000 a month in income for us. The one thing that I love about property is that the value goes up over time. And as the value of the property that you acquire goes up, the rental will also go up. When we started renting out our first property a long time ago, we were renting it out for 8 to 10,000 pesos a month. Today, that same property, after only 8 to 9 years, is earning 18 to 20,000 pesos every month. So you kind of see where this is heading at, that your income continues to come in, but it's not just coming in, it's also growing over time. And that's the beauty of financial independence. You're creating assets that not just give you more income, but it gives you an income that grows so that you can also beat inflation. The second investment that we made, which we invested not just money, but we also invested time in it, is our business. So if you watched our other videos, you know that we own a marketing agency. And when we started that marketing agency, it was just Cez and I. We were running the business together, we were serving clients together, and then eventually we hired staff, we grew a little bit, we took on more clients, and then we started to put systems in place. We hired operations teams to run the business for us. When we started, we had to put in 60, 70, sometimes even 80 hours a week just to keep the business running. And I think that's important when you're running a business and you're starting a business. You want to put in the amount of effort, but you also want to put in the right kind of effort, meaning that you're investing into systems and people that will help you to step back from the business, so that you as a business owner, you can work on the business, not in the business. Now, one of the beautiful things about that is that if you do it right, then over time, your business is going to run with very little input from you as the owner. And so right now, our business, for example, our agency, we probably work anywhere between, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, maximum 15 hours a week. So the goal essentially for us in the next 5 to 10 years is to remove ourselves from the business so that it continues to earn revenue even when we're not part of the daily operations anymore. That's the second kind of investment that we made to give us financial independence. The third investment that we made, it's actually a collection of different kinds of investments, but it all falls under one category, which is financial markets. One of the most commonly known financial market instruments is stocks, where you invest into a big business that sells a small portion of their business in exchange for ownership. And when you do that, you earn in two ways. Number one is capital appreciation. So for example, we bought stocks in Jollibee about 9 years ago. When I bought that stock, it was worth 120 pesos per stock. And I think at its peak, that stock has gone up to more than 300 pesos. So imagine over that span of time, every stock that I bought, it earned 180 pesos. Capital appreciation. So that's the first way that you earn money. The second way that you earn money is through dividends, where the business that you bought stocks from will share profits to its owners through the stock market. And so most of the times, you might earn a dividend of anywhere between 4 to maybe 10%. If you have 1 million pesos in a stock, basically you're going to earn anywhere between 40 to 100,000 pesos in dividends from that stock. We started investing in local stocks. We invested through Call Financial, and we invested in companies like Jollibee, in BPI, and BDO. We built that over time. And then later on, I got exposed to the international markets. A few months ago, we got in touch with a wealth manager in Singapore, and he presented to us his services, and we decided, yes, let's invest in Singapore. So we haven't invested a whole lot of money yet. We probably invested maybe a little over 1 million pesos. But over that span of time, that investment has gone up in value. So even when we're not doing anything with the money, just through capital appreciation alone, that fund is going up. And our goal is that it will go up to a point where we can live off the dividends. So imagine, for example, you invest 10 million pesos worth into these financial markets, and you might earn, let's say, 4% in dividends, which is pretty conservative. If you invest 10 million pesos, then you're gonna earn 400,000 pesos every year just from your dividends alone. Divide that across 12 months, you're probably gonna earn more than 30,000 pesos a month. The thing about these kinds of investments are they're the most passive that it can get, because you're earning money without really doing anything per se. So those are the three kinds of investments that me and my family have invested in. And mind you, we're not 100% all the way there yet. We haven't reached a point where our passive income has overtaken our active income. But if we play our cards right and we follow the roadmap, our goal is to retire probably in the next, I don't know, maybe 7-10 years. And by that time, just looking at our passive income alone, it's gonna be more than enough for us to live on. Now, I get it. Money isn't everything. Financial freedom, as wonderful as it sounds, it's not the ultimate goal that we should have. But it's a good tool for you, because if you have financial freedom, you can chase after goals that really matter. You can chase relationships, spiritual growth, your mental and physical health. That's now possible because you have financial freedom. We started with nothing. We started and built from the ground up. But still, we were able to get to this point at the age of like 34, 35 years old. And if we were able to do it, I truly believe that any of you who are watching this right now can do it as well, with the right mindset, with the right discipline, and with the right system. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time around.